When you enter into a creepy town filled with very, very creepy people, covered in this creepy fog, which looks like a skull, and this creepy old lady invites you into her creepy abandoned hotel, do not go. Portion of my reaction to Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders episode 14. So this episode is the beginning of the multi-parter to Justice. Now the beginning scenes of the episode were actually filler. They weren't in the manga because I've heard that the chapter after Wheel of Fortune, it was just Jotaro and the group driving along the road in Pakistan and Anne was just gone. No, not in this anime. In the beginning, it shows Jotaro getting a custom-made jacket to look exactly like the one that he had before it got burned. Although the funny thing is, the jacket looks exactly like his old one. Buttons and chain and all. But I really didn't get why that scene had to be shown at the beginning, but I guess people want to see like how Jotaro is gonna get his custom-made jacket, I guess. But the second scene I actually thought was really necessary because it shows Anne's departure. So yeah, this is the last time we get to see Anne. We probably are never gonna see her ever again. And for some reason, I don't know why, they had to make Jotaro look badass just walking alongside the plane. It's just, hey, it was a pretty badass scene, I'm not gonna lie. I was just wondering why is that necessary, but hey, okay. So the group then continues on with their journey. They were driving on this rocky road. Not only that, but there was fog everywhere. They arrived in Pakistan, but because of the fog, they decided to head to the nearest town to take a break, at least until the fog clears up. Now, while driving, Jotaro spots this dog that was impaled by a spike. Yeah, I don't know why the dog was skewered, but I can't help but feel like in every single episode, we have to see an animal or a creature that gets hurt or killed. Anyway, the group arrives in this small town. It was very quiet and very foggy. Completely the opposite from towns like Varanasi and Calcutta back in India. Well, Joseph was going to ask this guy who owns this restaurant where the nearest hotel was by greeting him by saying Assalamu alaikum. I think that's how you say it. But the way Joseph said it was kind of funny. It was like Assalamu alaikum or something like that. But there was this like long pause and this guy had this blank stare on his face. But after that pause, he just closes his restaurant for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he was offended or maybe he was just being an asshole. I don't know. Joseph asked him where the nearest hotel was. But then there was another long pause. He finally says something and that is Shiranaine, which means I don't know. And he just turns around and just heads back inside his restaurant. Joseph notices these cockroaches on the back of his neck. Does he not notice the back of his neck are covered with cockroaches? How do you not feel cockroaches behind your neck? What is wrong with this guy? So Polnareff spots this guy sitting near this pool, so he goes up to him and asks him if he knows a hotel nearby that has some pretty nice clean toilets. But after getting a good look on this guy, he had this like really shocked, scared look on his face and he just falls to the ground dead. When this guy fell to the ground, a lizard started to crawl out of his mouth. Oh god, this episode was creepy. And this is the part where we go from Stardust Crusaders to CSI, Law and Order, Criminal Minds, whatever murder mystery you're watching on TV. Polnareff notices that the guy was holding a gun and there was smoke coming out of the barrel, so it was recently fired, which according to Joseph must have been around like 2 to 5 minutes ago. But if there was a gunshot in the middle of this town, you'd think people will notice, or let alone notice a dead body or something, but no. They just act all like they're completely oblivious to anything, just totally mindless. Anyway, they realize that the gun really wasn't the cause of his death. So Kakyoin spots this woman who's with her 2 children. One of them is a baby, by the way. And he stops her and asks her if she can call the police because someone died. But when she turns around, her face was covered in boils. I don't know why David's production did this, but they had to like zoom in on the boils and they started like popping and the pus starts to leak out of the boils. Ugh! Oh nasty. I'm so grateful I wasn't eating when I was watching this episode. And I really feel bad for Kakyoin because he did look kind of disgusted over this, and for a minute there I really thought he was gonna puke. The woman didn't really hear what Kakyoin had to say. He had to like repeat himself twice. Call the police, someone has died. She just noticed the guy on the ground dead. She never noticed this before. She never heard the gunshots. What is up with this town, really? By the way, Jotaro notices another dog, which looks like the same one that was skewered before they arrived into the town. I don't know if this means anything, but I mean, it could be the same dog, or it could be the same species of dog. I don't know. Polnareff then notices that part of the fog looks like a skull. Thus, we're introduced to Enya's stand, Justice. Yes, Justice is fog. Also, fun fact, this episode actually features elements from another horror film called The Fog. For a minute there, I thought this reminded me of Stephen King's The Mist, but I think it resembles more of The Fog. Its appearance is not only fog, but it also has a more physical appearance, which is the skull with a crown on its head and two hands. So the group has a sneaking suspicion that this is the work of another stand user, which, you know, it kind of like gives away the mystery of all this because we know that this is all Enya's doing since we saw Justice, so it kind of gives it away, really, of who's responsible for this guy's death. All they've figured out so far is that this guy was a traveler just like them, and he came from India, and he was covered with these big holes, which Joseph said that they look like the size of a 10-yen coin. I don't know how big 10-yen coins are, but I highly doubt that those holes are the exact size of that coin. But the thing is, these holes were completely clean. There was like no blood on the ground or even in the hole. You'd think there would be a lot of blood with all these holes, but no blood. And for some reason, we get a Tom and Jerry reference with Polnareff saying that he looks like a cartoon cheese you'd see in Tom and Jerry. I was expecting a Tom and Jerry reference, but okay, I mean, he is covered in holes. He does look like Swiss cheese. That is understandable. So Joseph has a really good idea, is to get on the car and get the hell out of the town. But when he was about to jump into the car then changes into a fence. So he summons Hermit Purple to latch onto the nearest telephone pole, and it managed to at least soften the fall a bit so he wouldn't be completely skewered, but he did get poked in the back really hard, so that really has to hurt. This might be Justice's ability, well, one of its ability, you know, to cast these illusions to fool the group. If that were the case, then maybe the entire town is an illusion. I mean, it'd probably explain like all these creepy people. Maybe the people are illusions. And of course, we can't have an episode of Jojo without the occasional, "Oh no!" God damn it, Joseph, why are you so funny when you say that? But they see a mysterious figure coming towards them through the fog, and it turns out to be Enya. Yeah, this is where things start to get really tense. I mean, Enya wants to kill these guys, especially Polnareff. She hates him the most, but she acts nice at the beginning and invites them to stay into her hotel. She's basically like a predator trying to catch her prey and waiting for the exact moment to strike. That or a ticking time bomb waiting to blow up. Don't you just hate it? It's like when you know a character is evil, but the main characters don't know it yet. And you're just thinking, don't go in a hotel, don't go in a hotel, don't go in a hotel, you know? That's what I was getting from this episode. We actually get a James Bond and a John Lennon reference. But before they can enter into the hotel, Enya slipped the name Mr. Joestar. That is when Jotaro gets really suspicious and stops her and says, "How do you know that name?" Because none of them actually said their names, let alone Mr. Joestar. So yeah, the crazy little hag looked like that she was gonna get caught because of a slip of the tongue, but no, she manages to lie her way out of this by pointing her covered hand, which by the way was bandaged to hide her other right hand, as she points at Polnareff saying, "Come now, sir, that person there just said Mr. Joestar a moment ago." And Polnareff buys it. He's like, "Did I say Mr. Joestar? I guess I did." But by the look on Jotaro's face, he's not buying it. However, there was this awkward scene with Polnareff complimenting Enya, and they start laughing. But Enya was thinking, "I'll make sure that you suffer 1,000 times what my son did when I cut your dick off and rip out your guts to kill you." Yeah, this is one crazy old lady. By the way, the excuse she said about her hand being bandaged, she said she burnt it by accidentally spilling some hot water. Well, even though they did settle into their rooms, they are still gonna at least keep their guard up in case a stand user attacks them. Except Polnareff, who is so carefree he decides to go use the bathroom. Do you think with everything that has happened to them for the past 14 episodes, or in Polnareff's case 10 episodes, you'd think he would keep his guard up? But no, it's Polnareff. And I still like Polnareff, really, I do. Now they added this one scene, which I believe wasn't in the manga. Jotaro, Joseph, and Kakyoin, they're in this one room, and they're going to use Hermit Purple to at least get info on the enemy by using this TV, but the TV was broken, so Hermit Purple's ability can only be used on functioning electronics. That kind of sucks, really. Like, couldn't he use anything else? I mean, he used ashes to create a map during the Empress episode. I mean, could he use anything else? Or is it just electronics and ashes? So we cut to the next scene with Enya, who's greeted by Hol Horse. That's right, everyone's favorite cowboy has returned. Well, not everyone's favorite. I heard that Silva Run has some pretty cool cowboys too, I'm just saying. And so for a minute there, I thought Enya and Hol Horse were gonna team up to take down Jotaro and the others, because even though Enya's stand is Fog, it is a formidable stand, I don't think she can take them on all together at once. She probably has to take them down one at a time. Maybe that's why she was going to use Hol Horse to help her. But no, that doesn't seem to be the case at all, really. In fact, she despises him for abandoning Jay Guile, so she tries to kill him with a pair of scissors. Yeah, the timer on the ticking time bomb went off and she just snaps and explodes. It is understandable why Enya wants to kill Hol Horse, even though he was lying to her, saying that him and Jay Guile were best friends. He technically did abandon Jay Guile. I mean, he didn't do anything to help Jay Guile when he went off to fight against Kakyoin and Polnareff when they were like driving away. No, he just appears when they returned into the town. I don't know what the hell he was doing between those times. So Enya uses the scissors to stab Hol Horse on the arm, and for a minute there I thought she was trying to make the wound bigger for some reason, not sure why, but it is revealed later. Hol Horse at least manages to get out of Enya's grasp, but Enya she's fast for an old lady, by the way. She just jumps in the air and tries to stab Hol Horse, but he just rolls away on the floor and just dodges. So she decides to kill him with her stand, Justice, as we get to see the fog which surrounds the wound on his arm, and then all of a sudden this big hole appears right on his arm. The same hole is, by the way, from that dead corpse earlier. So yeah, Enya did kill this guy for some reason. I really don't know why. Her stand is made of fog, and any wound that touches this fog, whether it be a really big gash or maybe the tiniest little scratch, I don't know how tiny, but I'd say the wound has to be at least big enough for blood to seep out of it. Any wound that touches the fog becomes this fine circular round hole, and once the fog, by the way, enters into the hole, the fog is used as a string, as we get to see the physical form of Justice, and he manipulates and uses Hol Horse's arm like he was a puppet. Pretty scary if you think about it. I mean, whatever wound you have in whatever body part, it can just make a big hole and use the fog to control whatever body part that has the hole in it. But what I don't understand is that guy that was covered in these holes all over his body, why wasn't he controlled by the stand, considering that he was surrounded by fog? I guess Enya wasn't using Justice to control his body or something. Wait, can she even control dead corpses if they still have the holes? I don't know. Her ability has been revealed, but there is more to Justice, but it hasn't been really revealed as of yet in this episode. It'll be revealed later on in next week's episode. Anyway, Enya's stand Justice takes control of Hol Horse's hand as he shoves it right into his mouth. His entire hand in his freaking mouth. That is, ugh. I know that Hol Horse is a minion of Dio, but he can't help but feel bad for the guy. But at least he tries to fight back by summoning Emperor with the hand that is connected to the arm that has the hole in it. Hol Horse, you idiot! You should have summoned it with your other hand. Or can he do that? If not, then That stand kind of sucks if you think about it. I mean, you could only summon it with one hand. Really? Okay. Justice then manipulates his arm once again to redirect the gun, which was pointing at Enya, back at him, and he shoots himself right in the head. Now, for a minute there, I really thought that Hol Horse is dead. I think he might be, he might not be, but it did get me thinking that Hol Horse's bullets were also part of his stand, the Emperor, so he might have been able to control or at least manipulate the bullets to at least miss his head. I mean, there was blood when he did get shot, so maybe the bullet grazed his head or something. Or he did get shot in the head, but he wasn't hit vitally. Is he dead? Is he not dead? I don't think he is, because I don't think he would be killed by his own stand that easily. But because of the commotion that was going on, Jojo and the others noticed this, and Polnareff was gonna go downstairs to check out what's going on. Oh, fuck, that was not a good idea, because we all know what Enya wants to do to Polnareff. Enya was hiding behind the door saying, "Curse you, Polnareff," itching to kill Polnareff. But they ended the episode right there. Why? I hate cliffhanger endings. They ended it off right there just when things were getting really good. Although this does make me look forward to next week's episode, but it's gonna be really hard to wait. So overall, I thought this episode was really good. The artwork and the animation actually was really good in this episode, especially when it shows the creepy atmosphere inside the town with everything that was all completely foggy, courtesy of Justice. Justice, Enya's stand, I think it's a very formidable, quite intimidating and scary stand if you think about it. I mean, any wound you get, and if it touches the fog, it will turn into a round hole, and that body part that has the hole will be controlled by Justice. Enya as a character, she kind of scares me. I mean, she goes nuts after what happened with Jay Gobb. She is one of the recurring characters from the antagonist side, but she is going to be defeated. I'm not sure how. And if she does get defeated, will she live? Will we ever see her again? No, I'm not sure. But as Enya as a character, she is interesting in a way more interesting, considering that we know that she was the one that told Dio about stands and about his stand. So she's got some information that Joseph needs. The OST I thought was good. There was some new music we got to hear. This classical piece, by the way, when Enya was introducing herself. Also, it added the tension to the atmosphere of this episode. At least we did get some comedy and humor in this one, but despite all that, it was still an overall pretty dark episode. Hol Horse, it was cool seeing him again, but he did get shot in the head, so I don't know what's gonna happen with him next. Polnareff, I don't know if he is going to die by Enya, but considering what happened with episode 10 with Abdul, the sense of danger has been pretty high, especially the closer they get to Dio in Cairo. So I really hope Polnareff does not die. I don't know if Silver Cherry can take on Justice, but I can't help but feel like Justice might be defeated easily, because in Top the Fourth Wall, when Linkar reviewed those Silent Hill comic books, and whenever the fog was like coming towards him, he would pull off this tiny fan and just blow it away. I can't help but feel like Justice might be defeated by a fan, or maybe something that involves with air. They don't have any air type stands with them, but maybe Silver Cherry could just create like a little tornado vortex thing with its rapier sword and just blow the fog away or something. I don't know, maybe Star Platinum will just blow it away with his own breath or something. I don't know, but I can't help but feel like Justice might be defeated easily. From what the preview has been shown, he is going to get attacked by Enya, and there's a bathroom for some reason, I don't know why. Jotaro also does make an appearance, and he does seem to like he's going to be ambushed by these three guys. I don't know what's up with these three guys. Maybe they're the illusion people that Enya has sent to attack him. There's still a bit more about Justice that we don't know, but we're probably going to learn more about it in next week's episode. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, overall, this was a really good episode. There were some additional scenes that weren't in the manga, which I didn't mind, but I didn't feel like some of the scenes were necessary in the episode, but I'm guessing it was just to add the tension to near the end, which it does work. So yeah, tell me guys, what do you think of this week's episode of Stardust Crusaders? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts on Enya and her stand Justice? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you like it and subscribe to more videos. And be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. So yeah, that is Stardust Crusaders, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, episode 14. I'm going to respond 27, and I will see you guys later. Bye.